Hello, wonderful people. It's another wonderful session on your good mercy. How are you doing? Hope you're keeping safe. Hope you're fine. I'm very glad to be here to share wonderful content with you. It's amazing that I have people that watch this channel. I'm very grateful to all my subscribers. It's been an amazing journey. We've crossed over 1,000 subscribers, and we keep getting more subscribers by the day. I'm very grateful. Thank you for always supporting this channel. Thank you for sharing these videos. Thank you for subscribing. And for you who is watching has not yet subscribed to this channel, please click the subscribe button because the content we create are contents that will help you become a better lawyer, help you become excellent in whatever you do. We share great tips that help you become better in whatever you're doing. So today we're going to share, talk about the topic on analyzing the legal personality and nationality of a ship. These are under the maritime sector. So sit back, relax, and watch. So, friends, a ship has uh, a legal personality, and understanding it will help you. You know, peradventure you have a brief or someone is talking about ship, nationality of a ship, the various legal interests and all of that, so you can understand what they are saying, so you can follow. Not in while we are studying in school, most schools do not do maritime as a course. It's at the postgraduate level, while some schools still do it. But peradventure, you have never crossed or you have never, had courts to do anything with respect to a ship. This information will still help you. But in the near future, you might have a brief, or you need to understand what the ship is all about, or you need to do something with respect to the maritime sector. This lecture will help you. So we're going to look at the concept of a ship, nationality of a ship, registration of a ship. So we're just going to take it slowly so that you can be able to understand, and you can be able to also pass across the message to someone else with ease. So what it asks yourself, what is a ship? What is a ship? Yeah, I would say that I was just trying to I will explain it so that in a literal way, so that you can be able to explain it. Okay, a ship uh, is used in navigation for the transportation of people, goods, and services. But um, the difference between a ship and a boat or any other thing is that it does not have, you don't have to use pedals or on it. Those paddles you use to paddle a canoe, you can't use it in a ship. So that is literally. Then legally, in defining a ship, is defined as any structure, whether completed or not completed, or in the course of completion, that is launched and intended for use in navigation, and it is not propelled by oars. Oars is OARS. That's like the way you paddle a canoe. Those paddles, no. Anything you paddle cannot be a ship. Yes. So a ship includes any description of vessel. So when we talk about ship, we talk about vessel. You always hear vessel. It's a maritime language. You hear vessels, and other words like that. It is used in navigation, provided it is not propelled by oars or pedals. Look at the for the purpose of a ship, and under just for the purpose of what we are discussing, we're going to be looking at the Nigerian Merchant and Shipping Act. So a ship too can also be defined as a navigable waterborne craft. Navigable, what you use on the sea, on a high sea and ocean. Navigable waterborne craft using the transportation of goods, passengers, and it must not be propelled by what paddles. Yeah, just like when you pass a riverine area, you see people in canoes, in boats. where the paddle is and all of that. No, the ship cannot be paddled. It has its own way of sailing. It has the mechanics of a ship. So it is waterborne, used for navigation, but it must not be propelled uh, by paddles. So anything propelled by paddles or oars is not in any way within the definition of a ship. Now we can look at Section 2 of the Nigerian Merchant Shipping Act. That's the the MSA, the Merchant Shipping Act. Now you see that a ship includes a hopper, a dumb barge, a lighter, a hovercraft, even an oil drilling rig can also be referred to as a ship, a vessel. You know, there are various competing legal interests when it comes to a ship. For example, you have the right of a ship owner, we have the ship owner, the rights of a ship owner, the right of a charterer, it's someone who charters the ship or a vessel. They also have their own right of suppliers, those who supply either materials, building materials, the construction materials, or whatever they will use in the ship. They also have their own rights of builders. Some people who build these ships, they also have their right of repairers. They also have their rights. Then also the employees of the ship, the crew members, that's also the right of the crew members. So when it comes to ship, there are a lot of legal interests involved. We also have proprietary rights. These are interests which are legally recognizable as attaching and enforceable against a vessel because they affect the property of the vessel and may derogate from the right of ownership. Proprietary rights, it's trying to say that it moves away from even the right of ownership. There are also other rights that are enforceable against a vessel because they affect the property of the vessel. Just like you have the maritime lien and the mortgages. Remember that a ship is really of a valuable nature. So people sometimes can even use a ship to, as a security for mortgage. They can use it as collateral for whatever they're doing. So that people can even place, lien on those ships, to recover their money or whatsoever. So a ship is an asset. To own a ship is not, it's not easy. It's not something you just go and buy. It's not something, it's expensive. So people use it as a form of collateral to secure funds. Now look at the registration of a ship. How do you register a ship? Peradventure you have a client or people reach out to you to say, we intend to do shipping business in Nigeria or anywhere in the world. How do we register? Or we are foreigners, we are here, we have a ship, we tend to be using our ship to be conveying goods and services, goods into Nigeria, importation and exportation and all of that. How do we go about registering our ship? So there are procedures for registration. Now, when it comes to registration of a ship, look at Article 2 and 4 of the United Nations Convention on Registration of Ship of 1986, which requires that every ship has to be registered under one national legislation or the other. It's trying to say that you don't just use a ship for using a purpose, for any purpose. The ship must be registered. Just like in vehicle, people are encouraged to register their vehicle, and when you're stopped on the way by this vehicle inspection officer, they say, okay, let's see your particulars, and you don't have it, is already an offense. So a ship cannot sail or you be used as a business for business when it is not registered. It's illegal. So in Nigeria, by that section 291 sub 1 of that Merchant Shipping Act, it's what implementing the articles of the United Nations Convention on registration of ship, and it states that for every ship owned by a Nigerian or a Commonwealth citizen and not previously registered in a Commonwealth country shall be registered in Nigeria at a port that is duly designated as a port registry. We have a port registry where all these ships that come into Nigeria, where they go and register. And this section 291 is saying that for every ship that will come into Nigeria to berth, that will come into Nigeria or to be used in Nigeria has to be registered. Be it ship owned by Nigeria, be it ship owned by any member of Commonwealth citizen, and all that has to be, registered. And we have port of registry. where the registration of ships and take place. Also look at section 288 sub 3 of this Matters and Shipping Act. It talks about this whole thing of about registration. Then how do you now register a ship? First of all, you have to make an application to the registrar of the port of registration, the port where you're registering it. Then you have to bring proof of ownership. You have to show them that you own this ship, because it's possible people can go steal a ship and come to register it in another jurisdiction. So you have to show proof of ownership of that ship so that they are sure that you own the ship, and that you've not stolen the ship, and that you're legitimately the owner, so that they can register it and there will not be any issue. Uh, so when you bring the proof of ownership, it has to be presented, and they must be satisfied that you own the ship. Now, it will be assessed depending on the type of ship, what is the usage, and all of that. It will be assessed, and the fees will be, you know, given to you to pay, and then you have to now present the name you want the ship to be called. As much as it has a legal personality, it also has a name. Just like a company has a name. All ships have names, so you have to present the name you want the ship to be called. You have to process it and go and do a check to confirm that no other ship has a similar name. Just like when you're doing company registration, business name registration, they'll do checks to confirm that this name is available. So they will confirm that the name is available and confirm that no other ship bears similar name, because as ships are known by their names. So if two ships bear similar name, there might be trouble, or it could be a confusing thing. So they ensure that there's no ship having a similar name. So when it is the registrar is satisfied that the name is available and we can use the name, then the process of registration can continue. After everything, there will be certificate of registration will be given to the owner, or which shows that the ship has been duly registered. Then the certificate is usually placed on the board of the ship in a very conspicuous part of the text. You know, just like most people place the vehicle registration, that slip on the car, so that to show that this car has been registered and all of that. So the certificate of registration, you take a copy and place in a conspicuous part of the deck, because as this ship sail, there are the maritime guards that always come to inspect, these ships, to know whether these ones are duly registered. Now, just like I earlier said, that every ship has a name, and it is the name that will be, that the ship will be registered with during the registration process, and the ship will be henceforth be identified with that name. I earlier said that the ship should not have the name of the ship will not be similar or corresponding with the name of an existing ship, or else it will not be registered. So look at section 339 to 341 of the Merchant Shipping Act. Now, it talks about the legal personality of a ship. So upon registration, the ship now acquires a distinct legal personality. Um, I know that ships usually have feminine. They are really referred to in the feminine gender. Like a ship is seen as a female, so the names are more like feminine names, and a ship is referred as a she, and the ship usually sued in each state without you having to mention the owners of the ship. So the ships are sued in their names, which are feminine. You see, feminine names of a ship, and the name of a ship is usually marked on their bows very clearly. So from wherever you are, you see the name of the ship, name of the vessel, and all of that. Now, we look at the nationality of a ship. Once a ship is registered under the laws of a country, it confers the ship the nationality of that country. If you register a ship in Nigeria, it confers the nationality of Nigeria on that ship. So the ship is a Nigerian ship, and it gives the ship the right to fly that nation's flag on its mast. So once a ship is registered in a nationality, it has the right to now place the flag of that nation country on its mast. Um, Now, this also, you can see this under the Article 5 and 6 of the Geneva Convention on the High Sea. If you're international law students, these conventions, you'll be familiar with them. Article 91, 92 of the United Nations Convention, the Law of the Sea. Um, if you ever did Law of the Sea at the postgraduate level, this article will not be you'll be familiar with them. So the nationality of a ship is very important. Ships are known with their nationality and also with their names. A ship will always post the flag of the nationality to represent. And most time, whenever it's on the high sea or when it's entering or leaving a port in a foreign country, it will always host its flag. So this is a Portuguese ship. This is this country's ship and all of that. Also, under international law, the ship and its passengers are regarded as extension of the nationality under which that ship is registered. For example, a ship that is registered in Nigeria, those on board that ship is seen as Nigerian nationals. That's under international law. And they are entitled to any diplomatic rights, immunity, and privileges due to such nation and its citizen. Now, just like I earlier said, passengers on board a ship are deemed to be living under the law of states whose flag the ship flies. So, for what those passengers, for the fact they're on board, they're presumed to be living under the Nigerian law. For example, if the ship is registered under the Nigerian law. So once there's a birth in the ship, when someone gives birth in the ship, or there's death or marriage is celebrated, they are all considered events happening in the country whose nationality the ship is accorded. So if someone gives birth in a ship and the ship is a Nigerian ship, the child is going to be in Nigeria. Then offenses that are committed on board are also triable. So offenses that are committed on board a ship are also triable by the courts under the criminal law of the country of the ship's nationality. So if a crime is committed in a Nigerian ship, it's assumed that the criminal law of Nigeria, under a Nigerian law, is used to try this person, when the person is charged to court. So whatever happens in the ship, it seems to be happening under the law of the country where the ship is registered. Now we have the concept of flagging of ship. Flagging of ship involves a concept that involves the registration of a ship in a country, in the port of registry, to enable the ship to have the right to host the flag of that country, just like I earlier said. So when you hear flagging of ship, it means the ability of a ship to register to be able to, host the flag of the country under which it is registered. Then we have a flag of convenience, usually known as FOC, flag of convenience. Or we can look at it at open registry. There are countries that allow ships of foreigners or foreign countries or ships belonging to foreign countries to come and register or re-register under their flag. Yes, okay. For example, there's the Nigerian ship and it goes to another country and the country is willing to come and accept it to be re-registered. So such countries that have open registry, those countries have what they call open registries because they are open to foreigners coming to re-register or register their ship under their flag. So open registries is very good because it's cost saving for the owner of the ship and is a revenue generating device for that country. And so taxes are kind of lower in such states, and the labor laws and safety regulations are less strict. But there are countries that run these open registries, include like Panama, Liberia, Costa Rica, Hong Kong. They run open registry. They allow foreign ships to come back to their port and register. So we also have classification of ships. When we talk about classification, it's a process by which classification of ship is not like classification types of ship. No. It involves a process where a ship is certified to be in a good working condition, just like a car, just like an aircraft. Just like an aircraft that after they run for some months, they go back for service. So like a car, you also take the car to the mechanic for servicing to ensure that the car is in a good state. So ships too, once in a while, they go for servicing. So the process of certifying that a ship is in a good condition or seaworthy, in this term it's called seaworthy. The ship is termed to be seaworthy, having met the proper technical standards that are accepted internationally is known as classification. So when you hear about classification of ship, it means this ship is a process where a ship is certified to be seaworthy, having met the proper technical standards, accepted internationally. Now, this certification they are done by certification societies. There's classification societies all over the world that are in charge of of certifying these ships when they have undergone or those technical college, those servicing to ensure that they are seaworthy. So when they certify this kind, they give them certificates, to ascertain the state of their seaworthiness. Really, the purpose of classification is to ensure that the life and properties of people at sea are secured. By ensuring that the sea, just that you don't allow a ship that to sail when they know that the ship is not worthy, and people might die from where the ship capsized or other things. So this ship they go to service them depending. The ship is very broad. It has different. A ship has 64 parts, so different parts, different services, and all of that. And each of those parts can get certificates for those parts. You know, Now, presently, a ship owner might find it difficult to even use a ship to secure a loan, or without such classification, because even for people, for you to use a ship as a collateral, they will have to require a request for certificate of this seaworthiness, of the different parts that the ship is seaworthy. That will not give you the loan tomorrow and your ship sinks tomorrow. That so for a charterer, even a ship owner, they always ensure that their ship is seaworthy. So unclassified ships cannot do business internationally without having to fly, host one flag of a nationality or other, or to present even those certificates issued by these certification societies to confirm that they are seaworthy. After these ships go undergo this classification, they also undergo special surveys, which is conducted sometimes every year, every 2 years. This survey, the different parts of the ship, they go survey to ensure that it's working well, and certificates are also given to confirm maybe the bow is okay, the stem is okay, and the various parts of the ship that they are, okay. So, friends, we're going to just call it a wrap here. We've been able to define a ship. We've been able to talk about the name of a ship, nationality of a ship, registration of a ship, classification of a ship. We'll be able to talk about flagging of ship. We'll be able to talk about flags of convenient FOC, that's open registries, where we say there are countries that operate open registries and also some that operate closed registries. Closed registries are those ones that do not allow foreign ships come in and register. But open registries are, countries that operate open registries allow foreign ships to come and be registered, so they were able to, host or flag the country's their flag, or host it on the ship while they are leaving the port or while they are on high sea. So, friends, if you've not known anything about ship, maritime, registration of ship, you'll be able to learn one or two things from our talk today. So, if you're yet to subscribe to our channel, please subscribe, hit the like button, for I know that the content we share here will help you in whatever you are doing. Thank you very much. Thank you for always watching Lawyers in for Her. Bye.